Christmas party. Thank you once again, and ano ba, Wednesday? Tuesday. So good show on a Tuesday. Thank you to Reg, to Sean, and to Pauline. On our show tonight, we've got results from 9 games in the NBA, plus the aftermath of last night's Gilas Filipinas win over Guam, which turned out to be Japeth Aguilar's final game for the national team.
And a bombshell in the PVL as Tiggo decides to take a break from the league after 5 years.
More on that story in just a bit. A lot of lonely Tiggo fans. I'm Andre Felix.
And I'm Cheska Litongkalaw.
And here's tonight's play-by-play.
Ramiro, the show by Mamoy League, puts it on. Unbelievable. Gemma on the left side. Oh, the pass! Stopping another one. Bakulas rejecting Estevo for the
Let's start the show in the NBA as the Phoenix Suns and the Los Angeles Lakers win streak at 7 games. The Suns pulling off a stunning blowout in La La Land, leading by as many as 28 points en route to the 125-108 win. The dominant victory comes even after All-Star guard Devin Booker left 10 minutes into the game due to a groin injury. Dillon Brooks took over and finished with 33 points. Colin Gillespie added a career-high 28 markers, including 8 triples. Luka Doncic tried to carry the Lakers with 38 points, while LeBron James struggled and had just 10 markers in the loss. The Suns improved to 13 wins and 9 losses for 7th place in the Western Conference. The Lake Show, meanwhile, stay in 2nd place with 15 victories and 5 setbacks.
We were getting great looks running in transition. This guy was going in the first half, so there was a lot of tension on him. Obviously, Book went out, and we had other guys step up. Jamari Bouye was big off the bench for us. Guys were flying around on defense, and then this guy was carrying us in the first half.
Villain Jr.
Get out of here.
Way to hoop, my boy.
No, stay here.
Oh, you want me to stay?
Collins is as improved as just about anybody in this league. How has he been able to do that?
He's been working every single day. Me in the 5G every single day working, studying the game, waiting for his opportunity, and he's taking it. So, that's why he's here where he's at right now.
Tough stretch of the schedule right here. Well, it's going to be important for you guys to kind of weather the storm schedule-wise.
Yeah, we talked about it the other day, just being locked in, ready to go every night. We didn't play well the other night, but we just kind of flushed it, learned from it. Everything's a learning lesson. So, we got a big stretch coming up, but we get a couple days off here, and then we'll be ready to go on Friday.
The Dallas Mavericks pulled off their own upset at the expense of the Denver Nuggets. Final score here, 131-121, giving the Mavs back-to-back wins for the first time this season. Dallas had a huge second quarter to get back into the game after falling behind by 14 in the opening period. Later on, they unleashed a decisive 18-5 run to take a 12-point edge with less than a minute and a half left to play. Anthony Davis erupted for 32 points, 13 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal, and 2 blocks. It's his best performance since returning from a 14-game absence due to a calf strain. Ryan Nembhard showed out for Dallas as well. He added career-best numbers of 28 markers and 10 dimes. The Mavs sit at 12th place in the West, improving to 7 wins and 15 losses. The Nuggets, who have lost 4 in a row at home, dropped to 4th with 14 victories and 6 defeats.
We had to get used to the altitude. Once we got used to the altitude, I thought the guys focused in. We had some good looks there early, but this group has gotten down early in games and has found a way to keep fighting and trust one another and keep working the game, and that's what we did tonight. Yeah, I thought AD's defense and offense was really good. I think his teammates are getting used to playing with him, and this is the second game, so for them to get used to him. But I thought he was big. I'm happy that he came back after he jammed his finger from that pass from Najee on the rim. But again, we need him defensively. I thought he came up with a big stop there late, but offensively he was good too. Just taking what the defense gave him.
Meantime, the East leading Detroit Pistons survive a tough challenge from the Atlanta Hawks. Cade Cunningham scored 8 off the Pistons' last 13 points, including the eventual dagger that put Detroit up by 4 in the final 17 seconds of the game. The Hawks did refuse to back down. They were within one with 1.9 seconds left on the clock, but Atlanta couldn't convert in its final possession, giving Motor City the game 99-98. Jalen Duren led the Pistons with 21 markers on 9 out of 12 shooting, along with 11 rebounds. Cunningham finished with 18 markers, 8 boards, 8 assists, 6 steals, and 3 blocks. The Pistons now improved to 17 wins against 4 losses. The Hawks, meanwhile, fall to 13 victories and 9 defeats.
I thought we were great defensively. There was a couple breakdowns late where we gave up a 3, but, for the most part, I thought our defense triggered it. We were active with our hands, forced turnovers, got out in transition, created some easy opportunities for ourselves. And again, that's the tell of this team. You know what I mean? Like when called upon, we have the ability to get stops. He's developed an understanding and a belief, in, the timing and rhythm of when. And, again, time and time again, he does the job when we need him to do it most. And I think, he embraces that role, and he loves to do it for us.
6 more NBA games on tap today. Here are the results. Donovan Mitchell drops 43 points as the Cleveland Cavaliers take down the Indiana Pacers 135-119. CJ McCollum comes up clutch to give the Washington Wizards a 129-126 win over the Milwaukee Bucks. The Brooklyn Nets beat the Charlotte Hornets 116-103 behind Michael Porter Jr.'s 35 points. The Miami Heat use a huge 30-2 run and tie a franchise record 24 threes to take care of the reeling LA Clippers 140-123. Desmond Bane leads the way in the Orlando Magic's 125-120 dub over the Chicago Bulls. And lastly, Lauri Markkanen and Keontae George team up in the Utah Jazz's 133-125 defeat of the Houston Rockets. Here at home, it's playoff season in UAAP men's and women's basketball.
Exciting times! 3 semifinal games are on tap tomorrow at the Big Dome, the Smart Araneta Coliseum. Ladies first. With the second game of the stepladder semis, it's the 3rd-seeded Ateneo Blue Eagles taking on the defending women's champions, the NU Lady Bulldogs. That game will be at 10:30 in the morning. Ateneo moved up the stepladder after knocking out the Adamson Lady Falcons last Sunday. But the Blue Eagles are now in for a tougher challenge as they face an NU squad that swept them in the elimination round. The winner of tomorrow's match will then advance to the finals where the undefeated USC Growling Tigresses await. Then at 1:30 in the afternoon, it's the start of the men's Final Four with the top-seeded NU Bulldogs facing the 4th-seeded De La Salle Green Archers. NU carries a twice-to-beat advantage in the semis, but the Bulldogs did win both its matchups against the Archers in the eliminations.
The last game will feature the 2nd-seeded UP Fighting Maroons against the 3rd-seeded UST Growling Tigers at 4:30 p.m. The defending champions hold the twice-to-beat incentive here. UP and UST did split their season series. The Tigers came out on top in round 1, but the Maroons got their revenge in round 2. All games will also be available on One Sports, the UAAP Varsity Channel, and the Filipinas Live app. Coming up, Gilas with a bittersweet wrap-up to the first window of the FIBA World Cup Asian qualifiers. The Nationals sweep Guam, but sees Japeth Aguilar retire from the team after 16 years of duty. The aftermath when play-by-play returns here on One News.
And we're back. Thank you for joining us here on Play by Play, only on One News. Gilas Filipinas is already looking ahead to the next window of the FIBA World Cup Asian qualifiers, even if it's still a few months away. Gilas head coach Tim Cone said they know it's going to be a tough stretch since they will be facing powerhouses New Zealand and Australia. Last night, Gilas beat Guam 95-71 to complete a two-game sweep of the first window and gain a share of the lead Group A. The second window will take place in February 2026 with Gilas playing both its games right here in the Philippines. Cone is banking on a Pinoy crowd to come through again as a much-needed six-man. Of course, Gilas has proven that it can beat New Zealand, having done so in the FIBA Asia Cup qualifiers last year.
This is what we talked about right from the very beginning, before we even started the first game, is that how crucial it was to win these two games. And whether it was a 1-point win or a 20-point win or a 40-point win, it really didn't matter except that we won. Now we're ready to move on and you know, bring New Zealand and Australia over and play them here at home in February. Well, it should be a great series of two games. It's a long ways away still, but you know, we have our eyes on it. You know, we know New Zealand pretty well. We played them a number of times. We played Australia in the Asia Cup. We know what's ahead of us. We know it's not going to be easy, but we're hoping that, you know, playing at home, that'll make a difference for us.
Japeth Aguilar couldn't help but be thankful after his final outing for Gilas Filipinas. Aguilar shared a heartwarming moment with his family as an appreciative crowd showered him with applause at the Ateneo Blue Eagle Gym. The Samahang Basketball ng Pilipinas, led by Ricky Vargas, also honored Aguilar for an illustrious national team career in a brief but sweet ceremony. This took place before Gilas took down Guam again in a fitting send-off for the 6'9" legend. Aguilar had 3 points, 1 rebound, and a steal as a starter.
First of all, I'm very thankful to God. I'm very thankful to my previous teammates, to my teammates. Grateful for the coaching staff and SBP and all the management that formed Gilas, and it's always an honor to represent the Philippines. The process, I cherish yung samahan namin ng mga teammates ko, old and present, yung preparation through ups and downs, yun yung chine-cherish ko. And you know, we had may dream kami, and then ayun, unti-unti na natutupad. Malayo na yung narating namin, and I feel like malayo pa yung madadat na nitong grupo na to, so lagi lang supportahan natin yung Gilas.
Japeth Aguilar had a remarkable 16-year journey playing for the flag. Aguilar first entered the national program back in 2009 as part of the original Smart Gilas developmental team under Serbian coach Rajko Toroman. Aguilar eventually played in more than 20 FIBA-level tournaments, including 3 World Cups. The veteran big man also helped Gilas win a historic silver medal from the 2013 FIBA Asia Championship, plus 2 SIABA titles, a Southeast Asian Games gold on home soil in 2019, and a bronze at the 2011 William Jones Cup. But his most iconic contribution came in 2022, when he helped lead the Philippines to its first Asian Games gold in 60 long years. As his run with Gilas comes to an end, the 38-year-old Aguilar will now focus on his PBA career with Barangay Ginebra San Miguel.
Gilas Filipinas women head coach Pat Aquino confirms 2 new additions to the team amid roster issues ahead of the Southeast Asian Games. Sofia Dignadice and Sarah Hain were brought up from the youth team to reinforce Gilas women. The team took a hit in their preparations after host Thailand's rule that players who got their passports after turning 16 years old are considered naturalized. This means players like Gabby Bade and Stephanie Berberabe won't be able to play in the regional meet. Gilas women will also be without veteran Jack Animam due to her commitments to her club in Japan. The country will instead be bannered by old reliables like Afril Bernardino and Janine Pontejos. The Philippines looks to reclaim the gold after losing it to Indonesia in the 2023 edition of the Games.
We have to look at the pool, who's available, who can be replacing them, and it's just sad. No, they were Gabi Bade and Stephanie Barbara have been practicing with me for almost 2 months already. So it's just sad, but I hope sana next time they should have told us earlier, and it would be a better preparation for us. So as of now, hopefully, we get to do our thing and again do our best all the time. They're young, but I think they got the talent, and they've showed us, during our practices now that they deserve to be there.
Meantime, 2 superstar athletes will serve as flag bearers for Team Philippines during the SEA Games opening ceremony. Tennis sensation Alex Ayala and volleyball star Brian Bagunas will carry the country's colors when the regional meet kicks off on December 9 in Bangkok in Thailand. The Philippine Olympic Committee said the 2 were chosen due to their impact on the global sports community. Ayala made a huge leap this year, zooming up to the top 50 of the world, the highest-ranked player in Philippine tennis history. Meanwhile, Bagunas led Gilas Filipinas men in their historic campaign at the FIVB World Championship held just last September. The country will field close to 1,700 athletes across 50 sports, our biggest SEA Games delegation in history. But of course, you can follow the nation's best in their chase for glory as Signal brings the latest on the 33rd Southeast Asian Games straight to every screen via One Sports, One Sports Plus, TV5, RPTV, One News, One PH, Filipinas Live, and Signal Play from December 9 to 20. Coming up here on Play by Play, the end of an era in volleyball as the Cherry Tiggo crossovers have announced their exit from the PVL after 5 years in the league. The details of that story and a lot more coming your way when Play by Play returns only here on One News.
Welcome back. You're watching Play-by-Play on One News. The Cherry Tiggo franchise has announced its exit from the PVL after a 5-year run. Cherry Tiggo made the announcement earlier today, ending an 11-year program that started in the Philippine Superliga or PSL. In its statement, the club said, quote, "From our beginnings as the Photon Tornadoes to our journey as the Cherry Tiggo EV Crossovers, we celebrate the milestones, the championships, the talent we developed, and representing the Philippines on the biggest stage." The news comes after the team had a challenging run in the Reinforced Conference. They finished 10th with a 2-6 record. With the franchise stepping away, all Cherry Tiggo players are now expected to become available for other PVL teams. The Crossovers etched their place in PVL history by becoming the league's first ever pro champions after defeating Creamline in the 2021 Open Conference bubble in Bacara, Ilocos Norte.
Gilas NBA. Gilas NBA. Okay, all right. Mukhang nag-enjoy na Christmas party yan. We've got NBA Plus. Gilas game highlights from Guam last night for you in tonight's highlight reel. Unahin muna natin sa NBA. Let's go to the Pistons and the Hawks in Detroit. Cade Cunningham. Woo! What a move! Under 2 defenders. Take a look at that. Past Jalen Johnson and Dyson Daniels. 2 very great defenders. Woo! Wait! Let's panoorin natin ulit ha. Spin and then drive. 1, 2, 3 defenders. Up and over that dagger. That's a dagger, by the way. That put Detroit up by 4. 17 seconds left on the clock here. And Cade Cunningham, of course, leading the Pistons with 18 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists to this win. They hang up to beat Atlanta 99-98. On to the next one, still in the NBA. How about Chicago and Orlando? In Orlando, ooh, look at that move. Was that over Franz Wagner? And then the alley-oop. Showtime there. Take a look at that play again. Woo! Showtime Bulls for you there. Buzelis and Phillips collaborating on the alley-oop. Look at that move. And then over Suggs, and then Phillips. Buzelis, by the way, 21 points, 4 assists, 2 steals in this one. Phillips had 10 markers, but the Bulls, though, lost to Orlando 125-120. Last one from the NBA, then we head to Gilas. Noah Clowney attacks. Watch out. Clowney coming in Brooklyn. Oh my. Watch your head. Again, the rookie. That was Colt Brenner challenging Noah Clowney on that facial there. Look at him. Old Brooklyn bench loving that play from Noah Clowney with that ferocious slam. By the way, Noah finishing with a solid double-double here. 13 points, 11 rebounds as the Nets win at home. They beat Charlotte 116-103. Okay, tapos na ang NBA highlights natin. Let's go to Gilas Filipinas. Here at home at the Blue Eagle Gym. What a play there! Let's go back. It happened so fast. First CJ Perez over to AJ Edu. Then the two-handed pass over to QMB. Woo, two-handed flush there. Good teamwork, good play, good luck for AJ Edu. The 2 young guns, of course, as we know. Salute to you. Japeth Aguilar played his last Gilas game. And then, eto naman, future looks bright with these 2 young bigs, AJ Edu and Quentin Moliora Brown leading the way for Gilas for the future. Edu, by the way, 4 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists. QMB, 9 points in this game, 9 rebounds. And, of course, Gilas Filipinas victorious at the Ateneo Blue Eagle Gym yesterday. But, syempre, salute tayo, curtain call, Japeth Aguilar. Gilas legend, he bids farewell. Last game, he retires from international play. Great pass right there from his Ginebra teammate, Justin Brownlee. Great catch from Japeth Aguilar. Talagang tinginan lang eh. Of course, mga Ginebra teammates, Scotty, Japeth, Brownlee, pag nagtinginan lang, takbo si Japeth, pass Brownlee ahead, and Japeth doing what he has been doing for Gilas Filipinas since 2009, running the floor and finishing on the break. That was Aguilar's lone field goal, though. In his final Gilas Filipinas game, he chipped in 3 points, a rebound, an assist, also a steal. Japeth Aguilar had been with the Gilas program since 2009. He closes his career with the national team with a 95-71 victory over Guam. Japeth, mabuhay ka. Di pa naman tapos, di pa siya nag-retire from the PBA, lalaro pa sa Ginebra. Pero maraming salamat, Japeth Aguilar, for representing Laban Pilipinas, Gilas Filipinas. Puso, pangklase ka, Japeth, mabuhay ka. Check.
And before we go, we've got a number of heartfelt messages for Japeth Aguilar following his retirement from Gilas Filipinas. Japeth's wife Cassandra shared an emotional message saying she and their children will always look up to him not just as an athlete but as a husband and father who exemplifies discipline, humility, and heart. Cassie adds she's excited for more time and new memories with their little but tall babies. Japeth's longtime roommate and frontcourt partner Junmar Fajardo says it was an honor to grow alongside Aguilar in the national team. Of course, Fajardo himself earlier hinted that his time with Gilas may be coming to an end soon too. Gilas head coach Tim Cohn says the door is not completely closed on Aguilar's return. Cohn says the big man remains on call for the national team if ever needed. He also believes that even at 38, Aguilar can still play a role in certain spot situations.
And I've said no for the last 2 or 3 years, and but with Kai coming back, hopefully in February, there's a chance that now we can let Japeth retire. But the bottom also if he's still on call, if something happens to one of our bigs, and we need another big to step in. We will continue to call him because he's a freak of nature. At 38 years old, he still jumps out of the gym. He still plays at an extremely high level. He knows that if we need him, he'll come back and help us out. But for now, he's ready to retire. He's going to be like Muhammad Ali, maybe come back, retire, and come back, retire. Who knows?
Alam mo, pwedeng reference din, Coach Tim. Manny Pacquiao, retire, come back, retire, come back. Pero Muhammad Ali, I like that reference. But Japeth Aguilar, napaka-solid. I've known this kid. I used to call him a kid, but now he's 38. When he was in college, first year, dahil batch lower lang sa amin ni LA yan. So pagpasok sa Ateneo, then he went to the States. But Japeth Aguilar, grabe, you can't say anything for what he has done for Gilas Filipinas, for the national team, inspiring the young generation, the next generation of bigs. Yan, sina AJ Edu, sina Quentin Meliora Brown. So mabuhay ka, Japeth Aguilar.
Yeah, this is definitely an end of an era because, again, we have seen Japeth with the national team for so many years. But I don't think people also fully understand the kind of commitment, dedication that it takes
Sacrifice.
to play for the national team while playing in the PBA
Yes.
and being a husband, a father,
Yes.
everything. So thank you so much, Japeth, for representing the Philippines.
Sabi niya nga nung nag-represent siya sa Gilas, hindi pa siya kasal noon, wala pang anak. Ngayon, dalawa na anak. Diba? So, Japeth, mabuhay ka. I'm sure Cassie and the kids, the whole family, would love to spend more time with you now that, syempre, father ka and PBA player pa rin. Pero tama nga si Coach Tim. Anytime he calls on you, Japeth, be ready. That's all from us tonight, mga kapatid. Catch us again tomorrow, 8:30 p.m. for a play-by-play of today's top sports stories.
Play-by-play is on One News, that's Signal TV Channel 8 on SD and Channel 250 on HD. We're also available on Signal Play and Filipinas Live.
Andre Felix.
And I'm Cheska Liton Calao. Thank you for watching, mga kapatid. Good night.
Christmas party na.